Well, where do you even begin to try and sum up what is going on at the moment in terms of society? Um, those of us who are in the vulnerable group, for myself, it's because I've got MS and I've had so much chemotherapy and other treatments that my immune system is is pretty shattered. So my body is constantly attacking me without the introduction of any sort of virus. Any form of regular virus makes me extremely ill. I've just come off antibiotics from an infection that made me feel like absolute rubbish. You know, my body, same as a lot of other people's bodies, is constantly having a war with itself. So now, with all of this coronavirus madness that is happening, it's almost like a line has been drawn in the sand, and people are like, "Oh, you have to be positive," or "Oh my God, I'm terrified." But I think we need to kind of be a little bit organic with the whole process, because none of us have lived through this before. None of us have really witnessed an awful lot of things that are happening at the moment. The fact that going to the supermarket is now an utterly bizarre experience. The fact that people are, stockpiling, people are really truly panicking. But the thing is if everybody who is healthy is stockpiling and clearing the shelves, and then the people who are more vulnerable to the worst case scenario happening if we were to contract COVID-19 coronavirus. If healthy people, and I'm not saying that healthy people shouldn't be taking all of the sensible, necessary measures that are being publicised everywhere, non-stop. They've taken over social media and every form of media. All we're hearing is coronavirus. But if people who are in good physical enough condition that if they were to contract the virus, that they'd be okay, they'd be fine after it. If they're the people who are buying everything, because I know that there's only a certain number of people with MS that live in the town that I live in, and I know the vast majority of them, and I know that as one of them, I've had to reach out through Facebook to my local community, because I needed to make sure that I had paracetamol in the house, because I have to take paracetamol pretty much non-stop for about 4 or 5 days after the treatment that I'm on at the moment. And the treatment that I'm on at the moment is self-injecting every 2 weeks. And after injecting, I basically feel like I've got the flu, because I have all the symptoms of flu from that treatment. So I needed paracetamol to make sure that I could do as much as possible to help my aching bones, because it literally makes me feel like my bones are going to break, and to help my temperature, because my body's thermostat, my hypothalamus is damaged, so my body's temperature doesn't regulate very well anyway. So paracetamol is an aid for that. And the week that I was trying to get hold of paracetamol was the week where healthy, regular, normal, the vast majority of general folk went out and panic bought loads of paracetamol just in case they get ill. But you've got to factor in that there are some of us who are ill all the time. Just every single day is ill to a varying different kind of version. And that is real life. So, I'm not physically well enough anymore to regularly go to the supermarket and then have the energy to do anything else that day. And that's a life that I'm having to get used to. But the problem with that puts immense pressure on making sure that we do have in our home all the supplies that we need for making sure that that, there's 4 of us in our house. We've got 4 of us in one house, normal family home, in terms of eating, in terms of sanitary products, in terms of anything. Not all of us have got the privilege of being able to run out and fill our cupboards at the moment that we want to. I think it's wonderful that supermarkets and other companies and businesses are talking about having hours being brought in, so that the elderly and the vulnerable are able to actually shop. I'm now, because of my immune system and my track record for my body being pretty poor at fighting off anything that I contract, I'm now edging into being on lockdown. So tomorrow I'll leave the house for the last time until I don't know when. But I'm already putting loads of positive things in place, loads of things to keep me busy, and then next week I'm back on my treatment anyway. So I'll be sparked out for 4 or 5 days, feeling really rough. Although that would be interesting, trying to figure out if I had actually caught it, which is something else that we're having to think about, because, well, basically, if I get a cough, then there's a good chance that is coronavirus, because I'll have all the other symptoms of coronavirus anyway, including very dry throat. So, sorry, but I'm sick of trying to do this video. I've done it like 5 times already. I think people need to just be thinking. I think people need to be looking after each other. I know here where we live as neighbours, we're all offering on a neighbourhood group chat. If anybody needs anything, those who are going to be well enough and are capable of and have got the time to help out with anything, then people are offering. And that's great. I really hope that a real sense of community is what is going to come as one of the positives from this, because this time that we're now living through is utterly ridiculous when you actually think of how we normally live. The level of fear, the level of panic, the fact that the army are being brought in, and it's unprecedented for us. We've never ever known or seen or felt or been through a period of time like this. But it won't be the end of the world. So I'm going to make sure that the whole time that my kids are off school, that this is not a horrendous time for them, because exams are now being cancelled. Obviously, lessons are now being done online. But mentally, I don't want this period of time to affect my children. So our home is going to become a hub of positivity in terms of I'm currently decorating through, I'm buying new furniture, I'm giving the kids brand new bedrooms, so that they've got a new space of their own that they're enjoying. If they're going to be stuck in the house, I want them to be stuck in the best environment possible. But I also love that we've already, over this last sort of week, done a little bit of back to basics of kind of like, right, all the news is bad news, put all the technology away, we're going to put a film on, and we're all just going to chill out. And we did that, and it was really nice, because the kids weren't looking at their phones or tablets or something and like half engaging, half not. It was simple, guys, we're just going to put a film on and chill. And I think that's what families and couples need to sort of kind of go, do you know what? Let's just have some time. Because that's all that we've got. Time is infinite. We have time. So what you do with that time is pretty much going to have a very big impact on the outcome of this pandemic to you. It's how you behaved through this time. It will say an awful lot when we come through it. And so use this time to do stuff with your kids that you wouldn't normally do, to FaceTime a friend that you wouldn't normally FaceTime, but you haven't seen them for a brew for a while. You know, stay in contact with people, messaging and things like that. And even people who aren't technology savvy, use text message. A lot of people don't use text message anymore, but if somebody is in your phone book and you haven't spoken to them in a while and you just want to check they're all right, just send them a text. Everybody just needs to kind of think about everybody else, but also really make sure that we're all keeping ourselves as healthy as possible. And I mean that in every sense. In terms of our immune systems, you know, in terms of diet, I know obviously food shopping, nightmare at the moment. My poor wife's out there now having some sort of war in Morrison's, trying to find some food. And you know, it just needs to be that people are going to look out for each other. But looking out for yourself, you do need to be making sure that you are eating well, that you're getting fresh air, that you are drinking enough, because if you're not moving around so much, you might not get all of the water in that you need on a normal day. So just self-love, self-care, but also, you know, be present for other people, and just chat, just talk to people, just carry on as normal. Treat this as it's gonna blow over. It's just we've all got to ride it out first. I'll give you a speak soon.